Hello everybody, welcome back to the show. Why do Vaush and ContraPoints hate each other? Is the question that we are going to be answering today. It truly is the question of all time, which is precisely why that is what we are going to be talking about. So for those of you who are new here, I always have timestamps in the description below, so if you're watching this as a podcast or as a past live stream or a video or whatever, you can skip around if you want, though you can also watch it in its entirety. I try to make sure that there isn't a single dull moment in the live stream. That is always my goal. If there is, let me know, and I'll try to fix it next time, I guess. Probably, I'll bet. But anyways, for those of you who aren't aware, basically, what happened is ContraPoints made a video essay. Who would have guessed? Oh my god, guys, that's crazy. And then she included a part where she was mad at Vaush. And then Vaush saw it, and then Vaush was like, "Grr, I am so angry. I am going to make a response video now." And then here we are today. But that's basically what happened. That's all you really need to know. But because I'm me, and I do things the way that I do them, we're gonna be analyzing this drama. Yay, the stream has been properly resurrected. Well, I sure hope so, Olivia Bean. Also, hello, Pancake Panic. Welcome to the stream. This totally is my first attempt streaming. There definitely weren't issues with the stream lagging before or anything. That totally didn't happen. This is my first attempt. I'm just so good at this, guys. But anyways, so basically, the video that we're gonna be watching first, is basically just like an 8-minute recap. Okay. So this video is an 8-minute recap of ContraPoints' response, and it's from a very unbiased channel, clearly, that says that it's dishonest and disappointing. I am also a very unbiased party involved, okay? Not involved. But I'm very unbiased. I definitely don't already agree with Vaush, okay? So obviously, everything I say is going to be completely factual, and there's going to be no opinions involved, okay? So yeah, anyways, we're going to be watching this quick recap that's 8 minutes long of ContraPoints' response and why it is dishonest and disappointing from this unbiased video, all right? But I'm also gonna not show the video right away on screen because of audio stuff, okay?
She was pretty dishonest about me. I don't know. I've watched all the Contra videos. She's never really dedicated a portion of one to like just sort of.
That's so true. Also, I'm balancing the audio. I need to turn myself down.
Really.
Okay, I'm
Even
sorry.
If there's someone
okay,
on the
there
right,
we go.
it's usually kind of intricately woven into the video in a way that makes sense and
sorry,
supports the
guys.
final point. Whereas apparently the reason I was included was, hey, J.K. Rowling kind of does have a point. There are misogynists who are using trans rights
that
activism
is true.
as an excuse.
Oh my
Here's
god,
an
guys,
example
that's
of one
crazy.
engaging in a form of misogyny.
Okay, yeah, now that we've done all the audio mixing and whatnot, okay, now for real this time, okay? This is where the timestamp actually is, okay? ContraPoints' response is dishonest and disappointing. So yeah, there's this 8-minute video. That's where we're going to be starting. It's a very unbiased recap of the situation. It's completely factual and not one-sided, I'm sure. I haven't really watched it yet. It's almost as factually based as me. Not quite, though, as that is a very difficult thing to do, I'll have you find. But yeah, without further ado, why don't we watch this epic video?
She was pretty dishonest about me. I don't know. I've watched all the Contra videos. She's never really dedicated a portion of one to like just sort of drama venting about someone else on the left, or anyone really. Even if there's someone on the right, it's usually kind of intricately woven into the video in a way that makes sense and supports the final point. Whereas apparently the reason I was included was, hey, J.K. Rowling kind of does have a point. there are misogynists who are using trans rights activism as an excuse. Here's an example of one.
I'm so excited to find out what the example being used was.
Engaging in a form of misogyny that is both to TERFs infinitely less vile than my existence as a trans woman, and secondly, is also incredibly mild on its own, and probably much more mild than sexist jokes that Contra has made in her own videos.
Well, you see, if we just ignore all of the jokes that Contra has made in the past, then she's basically not even contradicting herself. I mean, if you really think about it, it makes sense, okay? It just makes sense, okay? Just pretend like Contra hasn't said things that are also a little bit too funny for the liking of some, and then it'll make sense, okay, guys?
It's you and Tanky Pick Crew Twitter users. Yeah, but the Tanky Pick Crew Twitter users at least got a funny video, the voting one. That was funny. It felt like she was at least responding to their arguments. She didn't even respond to my argument.
Well, yeah, I mean, she didn't even make one herself.
Because she didn't even present it.
I actually switched from Chrome to Opera GX a while ago just because I was so tired of Chrome being
Thanks,
the absurd
Moist Critical.
resource hog that it...
It was 2 minutes in which no time was spent actually... Like, the showing the clips of me didn't support anything related to the video she was making. It was...
But Vaush, she needed to include the 2 minutes of one-year-old internet drama, obviously. I mean, she obviously had to include it. It was a very vital part of the video. I don't know what you mean. It was totally related.
Just to attack me. Just so...
I don't even know what I'm doing. What is this?
Disappointing. She addressed one of your arguments, the tactical misogyny one. I never brought it up. In the clips that were showed, I didn't bring up any tactical misogyny. The only thing I said was, hey, if we talked in DMs, I think you'd agree with my argument. That's the only thing I said. I never brought...
Imagine talking in DMs and resolving things privately when you could include a 2-minute segment unrelated to the rest of your video essay bitching about year-old drama. I mean, clearly, one of those things makes way more sense, and we all know it's the latter.
Brought it up, so she had nothing to respond to. I guess I can't really be too mad about things. She makes one video a year, and every time she gets in trouble online, it destroys her emotional state.
You would think that if you make a video a year, you would be able to not include I guess if you make a video every year, though, I guess that would include the year-old drama if that's where it's starting, right? Maybe that was like the first part of the video that she made. I don't know.
I just wish she would be more respectful of other people's emotional state, because even if it doesn't affect me as much, like, it's still bad to do, you know?
Respecting whose emotional state? I'm confused now. I mean, Contra was wrong when she included the part with Vaush, but I don't know what this has to do with respecting other people's emotional state. What?
There's nothing that I respect less more than the pithy crybaby abuse of people who have less tolerance for disagreement than you know? So because they're more easily hurt, they assume that, like, it's okay for them to hurt others, because in any direct engagement between them and others, they'll always be the one who, like, feels worse after, which was...
I mostly agree with this. Like, yeah, when people... I feel like he's doing a surprisingly poor job articulating this for what I was expecting, I guess. But at least compared to how I would articulate it. I mean, maybe he's articulating it better, and I just have a difference in opinion in that respect. But the way I would phrase it is, virtue signaling about stupid shit is just annoying in general. Like, I feel like when you're bitching about an issue that doesn't exist, about somebody applying somebody else's standards to them, I feel like at that point, you've kind of lost the plot, right? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe you should never use people's own logic against them, because heaven forbid. Am I right?
Which was no doubt the case with me, too. Otherwise, she wouldn't have spent a year simmering before releasing a response to drama that was a year old. She also shits on the concept of debate at around 5011.
Oh no, is this the anti-debate bro shit? I want to fucking die.
All video essayists despise the concept of debate because they're bad at it.
Yeah, why is this? I genuinely do not understand. Like, what is the point of despising debate? I understand having criticisms of debate as a concept without despising it. For instance, the fact that winning a debate has hardly anything to do with actually being right, and everything to do with your rhetorical approach. But that doesn't mean that video essays are definitively going to be more honest. It's easier to frame a video essay dishonestly rather than a live debate where your opponent, if they are competent, can easily call you out. So I don't think that there's any real good criticism you could make about debate as a format that wouldn't apply to video essays, right? Other than maybe, oh, well, all you do is stream and talk a bunch and then occasionally debate. Whereas I spend a year making this video essay, you're lazy compared to me. You don't deserve the views that you get. You don't deserve to get more views than me. But that's more of a, I'm jealous of somebody else having a smarter business model than me type of mindset, which, let's be real, is completely irrational. Though I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of video essayists have that, where it's like, but in reality, it's because they don't have the ability to talk off the cuff and be charismatic the same way somebody like Vaush does. I don't think that ContraPoints is stupid enough to have that mindset, but I do think that a lot of video essayists genuinely are of that sort of mindset, whether they realize it or not. I mean, they do spend ages editing, so I kind of get it as from an editing standpoint. It's like, okay, you don't even edit your videos at all. You don't even pay somebody to edit them for you beyond like 5 jump cuts. It's like, okay. Anyone can make a video essay. That doesn't mean it would be very good, right? It's the same thing with anybody can debate, but not everybody would be good at debate, right?
I've seen Contra try to debate. They hate it because they think it's a fundamentally dishonest and unconstructive way of presenting arguments.
Again, it depends on who you're debating and how you're debating, right? How competent are you? Okay, if two people in a debate are of equal competence and they have the same rhetorical strategy, for instance, the person who is right is going to win, obviously. Obviously, debate is more complicated than that. There's always going to be somebody that's more skilled than the other person, as well as certain styles of debates being good against others. So I might not even be necessarily worse than somebody, but my style of rhetoric doesn't work against them, whereas you get the point.
Which, I mean, it's possible to lie in a video essay. She did there.
Yeah, that is also a point I made.
But yeah, it's just,
I feel like acting like debate, like lying is somehow exclusive to debate as a format is absurd. It has nothing to do with the format and everything to do with the fact that you're choosing to lie, right? You can lie with pretty much any format, right? At least when it comes to long-form content creation, right?
it's just pet.
Even short-form content creation. I mean, let's be real. Things being taken out of context would be an example of that, right? Like a YouTube short where you take one questionable thing someone said completely out of context, and then you're like, oh my god, guys, I can't believe you would say that. That's crazy.
Bro, you're using the argument people using on Shu, Contra can't control who likes their post. Calm cat, can you stop coping? You spent the entire stream. It's okay to be a Contra fan. I'm not asking you guys to not be Contra fans. In any disagreement between me and another content creator, I will end up being the right one. You have to accept that.
Well, unless he disagrees with me, of course. If he disagrees with anyone that isn't me, that's probably true. But if he disagrees with me, let's be real, I'm the one that's in the right, not him.
There's drama between me and somebody else you like?
Someone sits down next to you in a 5-hour flight, your worst nightmare is that they're wearing
Axe body spray.
I'm the one on top, always.
Unless he is in drama with me, of course. But that's actually the reason why Vaush has never started drama with me. Because he wants to always remain on top, and he knows if he were to start drama with me, we all know what would happen.
I'll always be the right one.
Unless you disagree with me, of course.
So, like, you just learn to accept it. I'm not telling you that you can't like them afterwards. I'm not saying that you have to, like, disavow them or anything. But, like, don't come into my chat and pretend that that's not the case.
doesn't actually care about advocating for trans people and just
Well, it is the case in this context, yes. But in a different context, like hypothetically, if me and Vaush were to disagree on something, you know, I mean, come on, that's a whole different scenario, right? Because I am built different.
just uses trans rights as a pretext to act like a dingus. I won't tell you to publicly shame him though, because unlike Vaush, I would never sink to that.
The anti-insult is great. It's for people who want to make sort of crude remarks in their online videos but don't really want any backlash. You do the anti-insult and you'll win every time.
Driving
Real.
the car with the Minecraft logo in the corner, his teeth. Nah, that. I'm not gonna be talking about the kid today.
Nah,
I'm not going to be talking about the kid today after showing a picture of his snaggletooth to my millions of followers. A zoomed-in picture of his snaggletooth. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be talking about the kid today.
True. So I guess
I almost got it. Fuck. I was trying to quote it. Whatever. Just ignore the fact that I got. Look, I thought I had a better memory than I did. Okay.
the lesson here is that intellectually, Contra and Leafy are about on par. I think that's the message here, and I agree.
Well, okay, that's a little bit harsh. I don't think. Okay, let's be real. That's uncharitable. Contra's smarter than Leafy. Okay. When has Leafy said anything of substance? Can you name a single time? No. You literally cannot.
Bosh, you kind of did the same thing, saying not going to bring up her addiction. Yeah, that's because I was writing a tweet, and I literally live typed it, then deleted it. But I don't mind bringing it up. I brought it up. I don't mind it getting mentioned. What I meant by not going to bring it up is I'm not going to include it in this tweet. I don't mind it coming up. I don't mind saying loudly and openly, thank you very much, that Contra's behavior is identical to the behavior of the people who drove her to an opium addiction and the people who drove off Lindsay Ellis from YouTube.
What? Okay, Vaush, you're being dramatic. Okay, this is stupid. Okay, Vaush. Come on. Contra is in the wrong. Don't change that, okay? You don't need to make stupid arguments. Okay, she already looks bad, but you're not making her look worse or better, frankly. You're just making yourself look worse. And I'm not saying that you can't engage in drama. Don't misconstrue that, okay? What I mean is, what the fuck are you talking about, is what I mean. I don't think that a 2-minute segment of a video essay where somebody got mad at something Contra said a year ago is an example of something leading to her opioid addiction. I don't think that she saw somebody lie about her one time and she's like, okay, well, fuck it. You know what? It's time for me to take the fucking opioids, okay? Come on. You're being dramatic, all right?
I'm okay saying that because it's bad of her. She's morally in the wrong.
She's morally in the wrong, but not for the... whatever.
What I was saying was, I won't tweet it right here.
I will only publicly state it on my live stream, but sure, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't mind bringing it up. I don't think it's bad.
I'm not even defending Contra, by the way. Contra should not have fucking, I don't know, made the stupid part of the video that she included in her video essay that had, I don't know, fucking nothing to do with the rest of the video and was completely irrelevant and added nothing and only deducted value. That being said, I don't think that, like, I'm not trying to sit here and be the look, I am not the cringe centrist type, okay? I promise, if for any newcomers to my channel, I'm not normally centrist like this, okay? I'm not gonna be like, well, I guess they're both wrong and should just accept each other's differences. Ooh woo. Okay, I'm not about that shit. Okay, oftentimes, more often than not, there's a right and a wrong. Okay, with some caveats, but yeah, generally speaking, right? But I don't know. This like comparing 2-minute part of Contra's video that was bad and irrelevant and stupid and unnecessary to something that would cause an opioid addiction. Like, really? No one is gonna have an opioid addiction over that 2-minute segment. Okay, that's fucking dumb.
Of me to do so. You literally did civility politics. They dogpile you for not being civil enough. Guys, when I do the civility politics bullshit, half the time it's because you aren't on my level, okay? This was a thing for so long. It's like this frustration I have where other people treat me poorly, and then I go to my subreddit and you guys are like, well, hold on, Vaush really did up here. And then I do a stream and I go over how I didn't, and then you guys change. You're like, oh, well, and usually it's because the person who criticized me is...
Nah, in this case, I'd say it's actually the opposite. At least from my point of view. I don't know. I think Vaush was 100% on the right before he opened his mouth, basically, after this. Now he's like 95% in the right. He's right with a few caveats and a few examples of him being obviously overly dramatic.
Is a woman or is trans or is black, and you're all more sympathetic to their perspective because years of lefty conditioning will automatically agree with arguments because the person who made them is from a minority group.
Nope, absolutely not. I have already explained why this is not the case.
Like what Contra did when arguing with me, which is embarrassing. But
I agree that yeah, what Contra did is pretty embarrassing.
Also from a minority group, okay? A minority group even smaller than transgender people in the United States. Sigma males. Of which there are only 2.
Ah. I assume he's referring to himself, obviously, because how could he not? But he's also referring to another individual. Is he? Is he referring to me? He better be referring to me. Holy shit.
Myself and
and me. He's talking about me, right, guys?
Andrew Tate.
What the fuck? No! Andrew Tate is the bottom G. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm the top G, okay? I am the top G. Andrew Tate is the bottom G. Get over it.
Occupy different schools, you know? Also, you weren't defending the misogyny, correct? Well, no. I mean, my argument with the
no one was being misogynistic, by the way.
Misogyny thing is that I don't care. I don't think that I've said anything more misogynistic than what Contra's said.
Yeah, literally basically, Contra was just being the joke police in that situation, so she was entirely in the wrong. Vaush is in the right here, except for when he equivocated this drama to something that would cause a fucking opioid addiction. Like, that's stupid. I understand that one rhetorical technique that people use is presenting information and then taking it to its logical conclusion. But does that seem like a logical conclusion to you? I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that conclusion was very logical.
I genuinely think that kind of like that it's just not consequential. And I noticed this clip right here. This clip is the Cat Black thing. So for those who aren't appraised in the drama, and thank God for that, there's another creator called Cat Black who posted a bunch of tweets that misrepresented my argument.
That wouldn't surprise me.
So again, I tried to address what I felt was like a misrepresentation by DMing her and trying to explain to her what I actually thought for an hour. And then she was really rude to me in DMs and nothing came of it. And then I woke up the next morning to her dumping the entire DM log in which she was really rude to me and I wasn't at all to her. And then I started arguing with her on Twitter, and then Contra jumped in to defend her friend Cat Black against me.
Yeah, that's lovely. Wow, what a great thing to do. Leaking DMs and then also being that's wonderful. So glad we have ContraPoints here defending leaking tweets for no reason.
But then admitted that she didn't know what my argument was. So she admitted to telling me I was wrong without knowing what I was saying.
That's cringe.
And also, Cat Black was sexually harassing me because she started posting about how we used to sext and then was like talking about my dick. And then Cat Black went on to make literally hundreds of tweets about me and then wrote an essay about me. It was all really weird. Contra's behavior here is like completely incompatible with my previous perception of her, so I don't really know. 10K words? Yeah, it was like at least 10,000 words. I don't know. It was a really big thing. I never read it. Zan had a TTS read it.
I want to read it.
Probably the only way to go about it. This essay. Well, my spat with Vaush taught me about being a black woman online.
Oh God. I want to die.
Dun, 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 dun,
Alright, you know what, fair enough. Alright. But apparently they had drama like over a year ago. And I don't know anything about the first time that they burnt the bridge, okay? I want to see what this drama recap is. And maybe this is the same drama that was like being brought back up. I have no idea. Shut up, ad. I don't care, bitch. But before we get into that, why don't we read chat? Yes, my favorite activity of all time. Let's see here. All right, let's put my okay, let me put my thinking cap on, okay, guys? I'm retarded. Hold on one sec. It's not actually a cap. It's my glasses. That's what I use to read chat, okay? I'm sorry. Okay, anyways, yeah, yo, what's... Oh, hi, Sub Sandwich. I'm gonna ignore certain chats. I'm not gonna... Okay, yeah. I'm curious to how much we match up in terms of edginess on this topic. Think you're mistaking Femyoz with Pamperchew? Fair mistake. They're both white and skinny. If you ever find yourself confused in the future, look to see if Bald Martin is on the wall, and if the room has been trashed by a meth head. Little details like that help with face blindness. I hope you're referring to Pamperchew when you say the room has been trashed by a meth head. I don't think I'm that disorganized. Sometimes there's like a few things on the floor, but other than that, yeah, I'm not that terrible. I also have a bunch of things on my desk and nightstand, but whatever. These people virtue signaling that those people virtue signaling that were who I thought I was calling out when I was in that. I'm confused. Hey, it's the sexy as fuck femboy. Hell yeah. Thank you, Chicken Stranger. Moans Axe body spray. So true. So true. The problem I have is that people bitching about virtue signaling are just as annoying and just as guilty of pointless virtue signaling as the people they're critiquing most of the time. Only if they're being overdramatic like Vaush was. If they're like me and they're just like, shut the fuck up, no one cares, like calmly and robotically, as if it's like, yeah, okay, I've heard this like a million times, like, okay, yeah, like, shut the fuck up, no one cares. I feel like that's justified. That's not just virtue signaling. It's like, shut up, no one cares, okay, now I'm gonna move on with my day, you know? Honestly, not hard to be annoyed at Vaush and Contra when they fucking talk about each other. If they would just stat out each other's shit, the world would be measurably less petty. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, okay, I don't blame Vaush for responding. It's like, I don't expect him to just, like, not respond. Oh, I've always hated this mindset of, oh, well, why would you engage in the drama when, you could just be the bigger person instead? Why aren't you just the bigger person, bruh? Why are you engaging in the drama and the negativity? It's like, yeah, okay, shut the fuck up, no one cares, right? Like, okay, now you're being more annoying than both of them combined if you do that, right? Not accusing you of that, by the way. Though I do see people with that mindset. But the correct and only correct approach is, Vaush should be able to defend himself, obviously, but also, his defense of himself was fucking stupid, and he should have made more logical and coherent arguments that weren't fucking stupid. But yeah, I don't know. The Groiper movement, yeah, what about it? I think it's cringe. What about you guys? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. What do you guys think about this information? I don't know. I do not have the answer to this information, okay? Alright. We're just gonna watch this epic video, okay, guys? Full screen, okay? Oi. Fuck off. Okay, yeah. Alright. Sorry, guys. Alright, let's see how the bridge was burnt, okay? Okay, anyways, we're gonna watch a video about how the ContraPoints bridge is burnt. Minus drama recap, okay? That's what the title is, alright? It's from a very unbiased news source, and it's about year-old drama. While we're on the topic of year-old drama, let's see what this year-old drama is all about, okay?
And there's a lot of disagreements among us, and we often don't get
I wish I had a soundboard.
along so well. But politically, I think we should work together as much as possible instead of splitting into little factions.
Base?
Because we share most of the same interests.
True.
And I think the best way to do that is to build bridges instead of burning them.
Oh, I like the framing of that. That is actually quite good framing from Vaush. I know why he put that as the intro, and it's quite smart, and I agree with it. Contra is obviously going to contradict this in one way or another, multiple ways, who knows. Either way, that's why he put that there.
If you want to say, like, trans people have, like, a leg up when it comes to being able to give good take on trans issues, yeah, sure.
I don't even agree with that necessarily. I think that maybe, I don't think that the validity of your opinion is dictated by, id shit, okay? Whether or not you're trans or gay or whatever has absolutely no bearing on the validity of your opinion whatsoever, okay? Now, I'm basically not even I'm not even close to being if for those of you who can't tell, I'm not even close to being a cishet guy anymore at this point. I mean, I don't think I ever was, but I appeared to be one. I presented myself as one. I don't think that back then, the fact that I was a cishet guy or whatever the fuck, was something that should have been used to negate my ability to have a valid fucking opinion, right? Not that my opinions on trans issues were valid by any means at the time, but the reason why my opinions are correct now is not because I'm trans, it's because I'm correct, and I just so happen to be trans.
I don't think it makes them automatically right, though.
Fair enough.
I think that's silly.
Okay, we basically agree.
Candace Owens automatically have more of a point on race issues than me? When she said,
nope,
George Floyd deserved to die, do I just have to look at that and go like, well, like, no, of course not, obviously. When Blair White says non-binary people are, like, destroying trans legitimacy or whatever, like, no,
yeah, it's when people are overdramatic that their arguments fall a fucking part, okay? You need to save that energy for when it's warranted, okay? It'll have more impact, okay? Save it for when you talk about the trans genocide shit, okay? Then it's actually warranted. Because while I agree that the trans genocide is something to at least keep an eye on, right? Something that's at the very least around the corner, if nothing else, right? I mean, just look at the bills that are being proposed against trans people, right? They speak for themselves, or at least they should. They should for anyone that has any semblance of common sense, I guess. However, let's just say, the average person who isn't politically well-versed, who is either a centrist or conservative, they're gonna see that, and, what do you think their initial response is gonna be? Do you think their response is gonna be, yes, Vaush, that's a really good point. I believe the trans genocide is real and you're not being dramatic. Or are they going to point to previous examples of Vaush obviously being overly dramatic when it's not warranted and say, oh, well, shit, it's just another example of this dumb fuckery. And then it's hard, and then you have to, like, make the distinction, oh, well, I was being hyperbolic here, But, like, now I'm only, like, being, like, kind of hyperbolic, but not really, like, this is genuinely concerning. And I know I said that, like, this was, it's a waste of time, and nobody benefits.
Of course not. I disagree with that.
By the way, I'm not trying to shit on Vaush. The reason why I seemingly hold him to such a high standard or whatever, and why I nitpick is just because I think it's interesting, and I'm just offering a certain perspective on why people might disagree with him. Personally, I'm not disagreeing with him here. I'm just reframing certain arguments to see if I can make them better or worse. Who knows?
I do agree.
Well, I mean, I can frame any argument and make it worse. Yeah, obviously, but you get what I mean, right? I'm just reframing arguments for the sake of I'm bored and I feel like it.
With what Contra is saying here, but the problem is she's implying that I disagree with this, and I'm not getting defensive about it.
All right, let's read the tweets out loud, shall we? All right. Time to put my glasses on. Okay, here we go. Vaush says, this is maybe the largest, longer Twitter thread. Yeah, this is maybe the fuck, I'm illiterate, okay, guys? This is maybe the longest Twitter thread ever typed, and one of its 16 theses is apparently that she doesn't obsessively think about me. From Cat, and then it's about Cat Black, and we already saw the thing where Vaush basically like he basically like scrolled through all 255 paragraphs worth of content. But yeah, anyways, well, let's continue reading. And then ContraPoints is like, I think you should think about what she's saying here instead of getting really defensive about her correctly pointing out that your perspective on this is limited by your being not a trans and not a woman. Yeah, okay, yeah. Right off the bat, in this context, I feel like Vaush is being way more calm and collected here. This is less, I mean, it's off the cuff. Everything he says is off the cuff, even if he thinks about his position. The way he presents it is off the cuff, right? He does it spontaneously. But he's way more calm and collected here, and I think he had time to actually think about shit before he made this stream, whereas the clips from the thing we just watched, that was fucking dog shit. I feel like Vaush was arguing emotionally in that more than he should have been. Not to the extent that I might if I'm in a debate with somebody and I'm screwing up, right? But that's a whole separate thing, right? And I haven't been debating for that long either. I don't claim to be perfect, but I can still criticize everybody else for being not perfect, because let's be real, I am perfect. But yeah, this whole, Natalie is being like, well, I think you should consider what she's saying. She's correctly pointing out that your perspective is invalid because you're not trans or a woman. Doing edgy, ironic misogyny while defending trans people magnifies the grain of truth in what TERFs say when about there being misogyny in trans activism. Yeah, I'm sure that's really I'm sure making an edgy joke about J.K. Rowling, and I don't know, like, what, I don't even know what the joke was. Like, let's say I were to be like, yeah, fuck you, J.K. Rowling, you're literally a woman, which means you're literally my property. Sit the fuck down and clean the kitchen, bitch. Even if I were to do something as seemingly vulgar as that, I don't think that that's gonna change shit, okay? TERFs are inherently vulgar. It doesn't make a difference. All Vaush is doing there is matching their energy. Well, no, that's what I was doing in that example. Vaush wasn't even doing anything close to that. I was giving a more extreme example that would still be 100% justified and not wrong in any way whatsoever.
Because I don't disagree with it.
You know,
but, oh, wait. Oh, yeah, one more thing she said. Maybe your tweet at JK just didn't land the way you wanted. Okay, fine, it happens, but why get defensive about reasonable criticism? Well, you see, the issue, Contra, is he wasn't getting defensive over reasonable criticism. he was getting defensive over somebody writing like 500 fucking paragraphs about oh yeah, no, like that Vaush guy, yeah, oh fuck that guy. Yeah, Vaush, the guy who the white cisgendered male. Oh, well, you see, because he's not trans or a woman or black, you know, the fact that he is not a part of these minority groups negates his ability to have a valid fucking opinion, obviously. I mean, that's how it works, right? I mean, that is a perfectly logical and reasonable criticism, am I right? Oh, yes, perfectly reasonable criticism that Vaush is responding to here. Definitely not unhinged at all. Definitely not unhinged in the slightest. No, not at all. Perfectly reasonable, in the words of Contra.
I disagree with this, and I'm not getting defensive about it because I don't disagree with it.
You know, believe marginalized people is a...
Wait, hold on. I think that you should think about what she's saying instead of getting really defensive about her correctly. How do you... Vaush is being too charitable in this, actually. You know what? I don't blame him for being abrasive. This is cuck shit compared to the previous stream where he had the opposite problem. He's being too charitable in this. Holy fuck.
A norm that is encouraged in leftist spaces for good reason. Much like people is a norm that...
About it because I don't disagree with it.
You know...
I don't know.
Believe marginalized people is a norm that is encouraged in leftist spaces for good reason.
Yeah, but what do you mean by that? Do you mean believe marginalized people when they talk about their experiences, or do you mean their opinion is more valid than yours because they've earned more oppression points? So their opinion being contradictory to yours negates your ability to have a valid opinion, obviously, right? Oh, yes. It's not like your opinions should be dictated based on how logical or correct they are. Nah, fuck that. What opinions should be based off of is how many minority groups are you a part of. That's clearly the more logical thing to go off of.
Much like believe victims or believe women. And these norms were established to counterbalance the mainstream tendency, which is not to listen to marginalized people or to...
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, the tendency to not listen to J.K. fucking Rowling when she talks about how trans people are degenerate and how trans women aren't women and how they're gonna molest actual women and how the fake trans women are actually just men with autogynephilia. Oh, yeah, poor J.K. Rowling. She's so marginalized. Oh, she's such a victim of this brutal misogyny. Oh, I feel so bad for her. I can't possibly imagine what J.K. Rowling has to go through as a marginalized group of people. Get the fuck out of here.
To victims or to women. But any norm can be abused, and the blunt fact of the matter is, sometimes marginalized people are wrong.
You mean like in this situation, perhaps? Maybe, for example, if somebody is bitching about an obvious joke that literally harms fucking nobody and is an obvious joke and nothing more than an obvious joke where somebody directs somebody else's energy back at them? Oh, wow. Yeah, I can't believe they would do that. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my god. But oh, you're not part of a minority group, therefore you're not allowed to say this. It's like, okay, how about you, I don't know, make up your fucking mind, Contra, okay?
Sometimes people calling themselves victims are obscuring a more complicated situation.
Wow, that's crazy. What situation could that possibly remind you guys of? I don't know! That's crazy!
And it's even happened once or twice that a woman has lied.
Wow. That's fucking crazy. I'm so glad Vaush included that, by the way.
Yeah, we should probably talk about the Contra thing, right? There's drama, you're tired, please no thought slime stream part 2. Did I not demonstrate?
I cannot stand watching people talk about thought slime. I swear to God, the arguments are so incoherent and I just can't. I mean, not only do I hardly care about the subject matter most of the time, but it's like arguing with a flat earther, right? It's like, you almost feel bad, right? It's like Thought Slime is like talking about like a completely different reality half the time. It's like, are we even in the same plane of fucking existence? Probably not. I mean, let's be real. It's Thought Slime. Who are we kidding?
Yesterday that I am, as they say, built different, I wouldn't worry about it. Vaush, I was proven wrong. I thought you were hyperbolizing when you said people were ceding ground to JKR. I would say that the behavior of the online left broadly in the past couple of days has been one of the biggest secessions of ground to...
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. And I'll explain why. I don't know how much this is gonna overlap with what Vaush says, but my take on this is yes. But the main reason that I think you lose ground on that is because you are affirming to conservatives, the types of conservatives who are like, fuck all those SJW libtards, snowflakes, they can't take a simple joke. But when Contra makes dumb fuck tweets like this, well, you see, the issue is those conservatives are actually fucking right when they make those criticisms. Okay? There's a genuine criticism there. Okay? Now, it doesn't apply to leftism in general or being a leftist, obviously. Usually I like to refer to all of that shit as what I like to call, and what many others like to call, liberal brain rot, okay? Okay, what Contra is engaging in is liberal brain rot. But I don't like to engage in that personally, because I think it's cringe. I know, the best argument of all time. This is cringe, therefore it's bad. But in all seriousness, my actual point here is I'm getting sidetracked, and my point that I'm actually trying to make is when you make edgy jokes like that are at the expense of a perceived minority group, the way conservatives will perceive that, all right? You have to take the conservative worldview into account, okay? I'm going to spend a hot minute explaining this. The average conservative worldview denotes that not only is our country in a state where every minority group is like this super protected class, but you can't make a single joke about them. If you misgender somebody one time, you're gonna go to jail because the libtard police are gonna arrest you. And let's just, ignore all the police brutality that occurs with black people. Oh, and then, it's like also, and if you make a joke, you're gonna get canceled and lose your job, and then you'll be fired. And then, and also they believe that, like, if I have to walk on eggshells 24/7. Okay, Vaush is trying his very fucking best to be counter evidence of that. So do I half the time, right? We both are counter evidence to that whole notion, right? And my whole strategy is, yes, you can be a leftist and have an edgy sense of humor, okay? These are not mutually exclusive, okay? Anyone who says that they're mutually exclusive is fucking stupid. You cannot change my mind on that. You can change my mind on a lot of things, but that is one of those things where I am just objectively right, all right? But what ContraPoints is doing is she is affirming the delusional conservative worldview, and somehow making it less fucking delusional. That's the problem. She is affirming what conservatives already believe. The way conservatives are going to perceive this is, wow, lefties are so fucking sensitive that they're canceling their own kind. It's like, it doesn't even matter if you're a lefty. It doesn't matter if you side with them. They're going to cancel you eventually one day or the next. It doesn't matter. They're going to find something to cancel you over. It doesn't matter how many eggshells you walk over. Okay, it doesn't matter if you advocate for far left shit like socialism. Yeah, you're going to get canceled no matter what. It's like, yeah, and then they use that, and then they believe that that's the entire left, and that there's no point in even engaging with the left. That is how they see the world. That's how I used to see the world. I would know. I used to be conservative. Not like I didn't have that strong of a position, But that was the way I used to lean. Similar to, not as strongly as I lean now. Think of it as how I generally, like, when it comes to my economic policies, I generally lean towards, socialism. That is, like, in that whenever somebody brings up a policy, I might say that, oh, well, I'm a centrist, I don't really consider myself a socialist, right? But generally, if somebody brings up an idea that is socialist leaning, I'm more likely to agree with it, unless you're, like, framing it dishonestly or some shit. But generally, I tend to agree with those progressive... I agree with progressive ideas more often in general. They're just more logical to me, at the very least. But I don't go around saying that it's more than just my opinion, or saying this is the end-all be-all. I still have a lot to learn when it comes to economic policy. Anyways, that's a whole tangent. I'm sorry.
Transphobes that I've seen since I started my YouTube career, which is pretty impressive, I have to say. I guess since a lot of the people doing it are themselves trans, I guess that's their right, you know? It's,
Just like how we all know that Blair White is always right about everything. You're not allowed to argue against Blair White if you're a cis white man, okay? Never do it.
It's a self-determination thing, right? You know? I mean, if they wanna, I don't know. Seems dumb, but not the strategy I'd go with, but I'd see a therapist after this because the gaslighting give you some bad psych damage.
Literally. No, I think that probably is part of the issue.
I wouldn't worry about me, okay? Yeah.
I don't know.
Vaush, I thought your apologia argument was weird at first, but I kind of get it now. Well, I'm
Yeah, he was making an apology argument. Okay, so it's not just me.
about to repeat my argument for the umpteenth time, because we're still getting a lot of people who are in my community who don't seem to understand what I believe, but... Okay, well, let's...
Well, I understand what you believe. That doesn't necessarily mean I agree or disagree with it, or if I agree with you, I don't necessarily agree with it, you for the same reasons you agree with yourself, whatever.
Get to it, then. 2 hours ago, ContraPoints blocked me on Twitter. The bridge is burnt, I'm afraid.
Oof. Yeah, I don't think... For anyone that thought that the bridge wasn't burnt when this video came out, yeah, get fucked, you're stupid. I'm just kidding, guys.
Tragic.
Unless I'm not kidding. How do you know if I'm kidding? I don't know.
Now, like I said last night while streaming, if the bridge is to be burnt, it's not going to be from me. It would be from her, which is what happened.
Agreed. There's nothing that Vaush really has to burn, so I understand why he would be angry and go all out recently, and why he did that recently. I understand why he reacted the way he did, but he still blew it out of proportion. I'm not one of those people who's like... I'm not one of the people who likes to morally grandstand either and is like, well, why weren't you just the bigger person? Don't engage in the drama. You're just as bad as the person you're having drama with. You're both equally responsible, because it takes two sides for there to be drama, okay? There's no drama if only one person engages. It's like, yeah, okay, no, shut the fuck up. Again, that's always a stupid, centrist bullshit talking point that I make fun of, Vaush makes fun of. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if ContraPoints made fun of that at some point. I'm sure she has. There's no way she hasn't. Based. Literally nothing wrong with this, by the way. I might have to do that after the stream, by the way. Just out of sheer spite to the situation. Yeah, which is what they should do. Like, if you have a... Okay. The best tool, the best weapon against hatred is honestly, it's comedy. It's laughter. Laughter always beats hatred. I mean, not always. I don't want to make an absolute statement. I know. Oh, but Femyoz, what about this one niche? Oh, shut the fuck up. I know. There's some niche case where that isn't the case, but generally as a rule of thumb, it's oftentimes at the very least, it's better to just laugh at people and make fun of them and not take them seriously. Because by taking somebody seriously, if they're just completely fucking deranged, you are sort of giving some amount of validity to their argument, even if it's not much, if you're shitting on the argument. Sometimes an argument is so ridiculous that it's impossible to engage with in good faith, right? It's like there's no good faith discussion there. It's literally just somebody. It would be like trying to argue with somebody who is arguing that the moon is made out of Flintstone vitamins. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna construct a 15-paragraph essay explaining why the moon is not made out of Flintstone vitamins, and then proceed to talk about the all of the different what all of the different elements that the moon is comprised of, and how and talk about how, no, that's fucking stupid.
Attacked me for the ironic misogyny, which I'm okay with being criticized for the ironic misogyny, but
I think you can criticize anybody for anything, but let's be real, the criticism wasn't fucking valid. It's just people bitching and being the joke police. There is no criticism. Okay? You can have a discussion about it. You can say, oh, I really didn't like that joke, and here's why. That's perfectly fine. But you should have an actual argument for why, if you're gonna do that. Not that there is one, by the way. Let's be real, there's not one. But say, hypothetically, there was. At least try to make an argument, right?
The way in which the criticism took place made it feel like the left was kind of implicitly ceding ground to J.K. Rowling by agreeing with her in that my behavior sort of warranted her general denunciation of trans people.
Exactly.
And that, I think, is a problem.
Yeah, it's like acting like a... Yeah, again, this whole mindset of oh, you're not allowed to make an edgy joke, even if it's about J.K. Rowling. The whole, two wrongs don't make a right, Vaush! And two wrongs don't make a right! There's just another wrong! It's like, shut the fuckity fuck up, okay? That is not how this works, alright? No. I would consider a wrong and a right, okay? The wrong is the stupid shit J.K. Rowling said. And then the right was Vaush making fun of her. That's all there is to it, right? Being quote-unquote misogynistic as a joke is not really misogynistic, okay? Everybody knows what Vaush actually means and what his actual intent is when he makes an obvious joke that literally everybody knows is a joke and that literally nobody thinks isn't a joke. Nobody was sitting there scratching their fucking heads being like, I sure do wonder if this was meant as a joke or if Vaush just hates women. I sure do wonder. No, that doesn't fucking happen. Everyone knows it's a joke, and the point of the entire point of language as a concept and communicating with other human beings is to communicate information. So you deliberately are going against that, and instead deciding to take the least charitable approach and to deliberately misinterpreting what Vaush is saying, or taking an uncharitable approach, or being like, I don't it's misogynistic, fuck context, fuck the fact that everybody knows that, like, what his actual position is, and that, like, he has nothing against women, even if they don't even know who he is. They can fucking tell that it's a joke. No one is gonna see a joke where it's like, oh, there's a misogynistic joke, and be like, well, fuck. I guess there goes my original pro-feminist position. I guess I'm a misogynist now. No, that doesn't fucking happen. That's stupid. Alright? And anybody who disagrees with me on that, if you disagree with me on that, you're just, I don't know, objectively wrong.
So, I have not been defending the ironic misogyny, and people who've been...
Which he honestly should have been, okay? There's no reason not to defend it. He was well within his rights to do that.
Watching me through this drama can attest to that, by the way.
I think it would be better if he just doubled down and was like, yeah, I was being misogynistic as a joke. Yeah, fucking cry about it. Everyone knew it was a joke. Shut the fuck up. Stop virtue signaling. I did nothing wrong. You're in the wrong. Stop being a bitch. That's how he should have handled it. That's how I would have handled it. I'm not gonna, well, I don't know if he should or shouldn't have handled it a particular way. I mean, it's a situation involving him. He can handle it however he wants, within reason, obviously, but if he wants to, whatever, be like, super charitable, fair enough.
I haven't been. It hasn't been about that. That's just not what I've been focusing on at all.
Honestly, I would focus on that, but whatever.
The only position I really have on that is that I don't think it's that big of a deal, and
I don't think it's wrong at all.
By God, I will stand by that point, but...
Okay, good.
Not like saying it's necessary or like morally good or whatever.
Well, there's a difference between necessary and morally good, right? Or, sorry, there's a difference between something not being a necessity or morally good, and specifically being something that causes objective or measurable harm. There's an obvious distinction there. I mean, come on. Anyone with more than 0.001 brain cells knows this, obviously. Because, yeah, obviously you have to have, well, a functioning brain to... whatever.
I think those are very different things. You know, we all have different levels of what we think is acceptable edginess. All of us engage in some level of acceptable edginess. Have you?
I think that any level of edginess is fine. Just don't personally attack people. Don't like dog whistle either. Okay, I know there's like not always a fine line, but usually it's pretty fucking obvious. You just gotta judge it on a case-by-case basis and have at least a somewhat consistent standard, right? A mostly consistent standard, actually. If not entirely. You're gonna make mistakes, obviously. But for the most part, as long as you're consistent and you don't blow things out of proportion, as long as you acknowledge there's gray area and it's like, you know, this joke was questionable, I'm not a fan of it, maybe tone it down a bit. Could be a criticism you levy at someone where if you're not sure if they're dog whistling, for instance. But you don't go on and call them a Nazi immediately.
Have you guys watched a ContraPoints video?
I have. I watched the one with Vaush in it specifically.
It's not like...
I haven't watched any other ones, though.
There isn't ironic misogyny in there.
Ow, but you see, Vaush, you're a man. You're not allowed to... Yeah, it's... I'm guessing that's the counter-argument. That's the counter-argument. It's this fucking idpol shit. It's just... It's liberal brain rot. It's liberal brain rot. This is why I classify myself as a leftist and not a liberal. Even though I am also a liberal. I would say I'm probably, in a technical sense, if we take what the word liberal actually is used for, if we take the words back to their, like, in terms of, like, the actual words themselves, I would probably align more with liberal, right? I don't care that much about economic policy, right? But in general, when it comes to social policies, I end up agreeing with people that are more far left generally, even if I don't care about their economic policies.
You know, we have arbitrary thresholds. So, you know, that happens. Anyhow, people keep...
As long as you acknowledge that they're arbitrary and that nothing should be off limits unless there's, like, some sort of, like, good reason for it to be. Like, for instance, if you were to send somebody's actual IP address to somebody else as a joke or something, like, that's not a good joke. That's too far. Even if... Or, like, sending somebody their own IP address. You might think it's a funny prank, maybe. But it's like, that's something that I would consider to be off limits. Okay, you're gonna freak this person the fuck out. It's not funny. You're just gonna fucking traumatize them, okay? And also, like, it's just a shitty thing. Look, but I acknowledge that that's arbitrary, but there are reasons for it, right? It's not just entirely vibes, though that is some of it, but I tend to refrain from that. And the simple solution to that is just use a VPN if you're not sure if a link is safe.
Arguing as though, well, I don't like the arguments a lot of people are using, you know? I'm okay with being criticized for the ironic misogyny, but a lot of people, I think, again...
Not that that would be a valid criticism in the first place, but...
...are doing that ceding ground to J.K. Rowling things.
Which is also a problem, but I don't think that the argument against the ironic misogyny holds any merit in of itself, even if you ignore the fact that it was directed towards J.K. Rowling, who, let's be real, she's a bitch, right? J.K. Rowling is a fucking bitch, alright? That's all there is to it. Any other opinion is wrong, let's be real. Okay, but jokes aside, well, that's not even a joke. I mean, she is. She hates trans people, so. But I mean, come on. We should be able to make fun of J.K. If J.K. Rowling is going to say awful shit about trans people, it's like, nobody should be getting mad at anybody when they say, shut the fuck up and go back to the kitchen, bitch. Like, if I say that. Not that, I don't even think Vaush said that. He might have said something, I think he said something more subtle than that. I don't remember. I would straight up say that. That's what I would say, at least. And I would say it a million times, by the way.
So, one of the people doing that was Cat Black on Twitter, who posted this really long tweet thread, which was essentially criticizing me with arguments that I felt were pretty bad. Now, I have Well, now my opinion of Cat Black is not at all mixed, but at the time I had a mixed opinion of Cat Black, and I thought, I don't really want to drag this drama out, you know? I'd rather settle it privately. So I DM'd Cat Black, saying that I disagreed with her, and asked if she would be interested in hearing my explanation for my behavior. Now, those DMs have been made public by her since, and I'll get to that, but you can look over those DMs if you want. They're public. I literally went over every single one of them on...
Sounds like something that we'll have to, I don't know, look at in a future stream. Oh, yes.
...stream yesterday, and I think, and I believe this is about as objective an assessment as you can get, that I was very good faith, forthcoming, interested in talking, polite, you know, at the very...
I mean, if somebody is virtue signaling and making arguments as terrible as the ones she was making, she was never there in good faith, okay? She was never there to have a genuine discussion. She was never there to hear him out. She was... No. All she was there to do was bitch and whine over an issue that she created in her own head, and then proceeded to, you know, I don't know, try to, like... she ended up talking shit about Vaush for basically no justifiable reason. And then when Vaush, being the reasonable person he is, does the most mature thing you can do in that situation and being like, hey, I'd like to talk to you. Would you be willing to have a discussion about this? What does she do? Well, what she does is she decides to use that charitability, that level of respect Vaush gave her against him directly by leaking DMs. Which is why you should never trust a fucking dumbass like Cat Black who just virtue signals and doesn't actually hold any real moral framework, right? If somebody has no moral framework, don't bother private messaging them with the intent of having a private discussion. Assume that they're willing to leak DMs if they decide that they just so happen to be feeling petty on a particular day.
At least, like, early on. Later on, the conversation, you know, degenerated and we got, you know, more shouty. But I really feel like a fair reading of that DM exchange between myself and her, which lasted a full hour, would indicate that I was engaging in good faith and that she was engaging in monstrously bad faith. Like, really bad faith. Her, like, she would admit she wasn't listening to me. She said it was arrogant of me to even assume I could ever have a point over her because I'm cis and she's trans. Just...
Yeah, which is fucking stupid, okay? Actually, okay, guys, I found a loophole in the system, okay? I am the loophole in the system, and I'll explain why, okay? The reason I'm the loophole in the system is because I'm trans, and Cat Black is trans, which means my transness cancels out her transness, meaning that the only thing that matters is how logical the argument is. Isn't that insane? I know, crazy. So what does Cat Black do if somebody like me makes an like, fuck, I'm trans, but I'm edgier than Vaush, honestly. My jokes are even more abrasive at times. Especially on Discord, like not just on like publicly. Privately, or even in a public Discord, like I make some of the, let's just say let's just say they're just a little bit unsavory, okay? That's what I'll call the jokes, is unsavory. Yeah, I think that's a good description, alright? But they're funny nonetheless, okay?
Stuff like...
This is your mix in your room.
Bold of you to assume I give a shit. Alright, shut up, ad.
Like that, you know, like really, really bad stuff. But anyway, frustrated, the conversation ended, and I didn't want to make a big deal of it, you know, like I didn't want to make it public. I wasn't going to talk about it on stream. I vague posted in chat after the convo saying, I had this convo with someone, it was so stupid, oh my god, I'm so glad this wasn't public or you all would have killed yourselves, you know. But I never was going to say it was Cat Black.
Yeah, I think that's a perfectly fair thing to do.
Then Cat Black made this is not a joke, 100 tweet thread characterizing me in, I think, a very dishonest way.
The most logically minded woke scold, Cat Black, honestly. The most good faith woke scoldy argument you'll ever find.
based on the DM exchange that we had the previous night. And then when I tweeted about that at all, she dropped all the DMs, leaking an entire hour's worth of exchange.
Definitely not unhinged to do that, by the way.
In private messages. Just, phew. Not only did she drop all of the DMs, she also said, for no reason at all, that she and I used to sext over Twitter, which...
That's fucking stupid.
...is true, but I don't know how that's relevant, and it felt kind of weird to just...
That is a weird thing to bring up, and especially because that, I don't know, is a two-way thing, I would assume, in this situation, where they both send each other the same type of shit, right? They're both sending each other explicit photos, so I don't know why that would be used against Vaush when they were both doing exactly the same shit. I don't know why it's bad for Vaush to do it, but oh yeah, it's good when Cat Black. What the fuck?
Just bring that up, and I feel like
it just makes her look like a I was gonna say like the stereotypical like unhinged ex-girlfriend you would expect to see in like a serial killer movie or some shit, but like not even that, because I don't think they were ever dating.
Like I would get flack if I brought that up, like out of nowhere, if I had a disagreement with like a woman, you know, like who I was arguing with. Yeah. And then later she deleted this, of course, because like how could she not? But she like made comments about my penis unprompted,
which is a really weird thing to do. Oh, and it is a sign of somebody being like a completely narcissistic, self-absorbed, and just a shitty, manipulative person in general. If you have a private conversation with someone, where everything being said is meant to be private, okay? Yeah, I mean, you don't say anything explicitly bad, okay? You're just there in good faith, trusting that this is a private conversation. Not that I think that the conversation being leaked did anything bad to Vaush, by the way. I don't think it made him look worse, obviously. It made him look better, if anything. But still, it's breaking a certain level of trust. So being willing to break that level of trust, and then talking about someone's dick size, either she has to do two things. Either if she accurately describes it, then she's also breaking another level of like another sort of level of trust, right? Making her even less trustworthy. Or alternatively, she's still breaking trust, but she's also lying about the dick size, which I don't even know if that's better or worse than being honest about it. I genuinely couldn't tell you. I don't know. I've had an ex who fucking lied about my dick size. It was very strange. But then she kept accusing me of bringing up my dick size and said that I was bragging about it, but that I was lying. And then I was like, no, I don't think I am. I can go measure it again. Maybe I measured it wrong or some shit. But no, it was the same length as the last time I measured it. So I don't know. People are weird, man. She was emotionally abusive, by the way. Not specifically because of that, though it doesn't help her case, obviously, but I just thought that was a fun little anecdote. Even though I'm not much of an anecdote Andy, sometimes I like to bring shit up because it's interesting, I guess.
Which again is very weird. It's really, really, really strange.
It is.
Because, you know, she was talking about how she had sexted me before, and then like she posted this. First of all, I'm a social justice black mage. Do I like white dick? Not necessarily my top choice, but...
And she's the one trying to use being black as like as one of the reasons why her arguments are more valid, I think. So yeah, you can't do that. If you're gonna try and argue against racism, shouldn't it like go both ways? I'm not saying racism against white people is like a prevalent issue that's like, oh no, white people are gonna like get genocided and shit. It's like, okay, no, that's never gonna happen. At least not within the near future. If it does, I really hope it doesn't, but yeah, no. But like it's not, but the concept of racism is not specifically, I mean, if you're talking about systemic racism that exists, then sure, okay, that doesn't apply to white people in this country. Fine, I agree with that. Interpersonal racism, though, goes both ways. That's easy to understand.
But I'll settle for it. This is very strange. Saying this while being black does not make it any more cute. I have to.
No, it literally makes no difference, actually. If you're black, Asian, white, or I don't know, purple, if you're Thanos, okay, even if you're Thanos, well, if you're, okay, Thanos is the one exception. If Thanos said it, then it'd be cute as fuck. But unless you're purple like Thanos, then it's just cringe, okay? It's equally cringe no matter what.
To say, I was underwhelmed.
Also, the fucking reply that she left as a follow-up, also tweeting this in bed, and my BF is judging the poor fucking boyfriend in the situation. Was her boyfriend white? If her boyfriend was white, I feel really fucking bad for the dude. Like imagine, like, you have a girlfriend, and then, like, you're, like, laying in bed with her, right? And then you see her tweeting about how white dick is not her top choice, but she'll just kind of settle for it. Imagine, like, I can't imagine. I would be like, yeah, that's a red flag. I'm noping the fuck out of that relationship before I get emotionally attached. You better believe I'm not letting myself get emotionally attached to shit like that, okay? Easier said than done, by the way. Don't overthink it, though. I mean, overthink it. No, don't overthink it. Yeah, no, don't overthink it. But don't ignore red flags either, okay? This is a red flag.
In this particular case, though. Maybe Cat Black likes small penises? I don't know. I don't know why she wouldn't think mine is cool, but whatever. She seemed to like it at the time. Anyway, I think this is a very, very weird thing to tweet. Can we acknowledge that? Like,
he doesn't even read the reply. He should have read the reply.
It is funny, and I have a good sense of humor about it, but imagine if I had a disagreement with a female content creator.
Okay, it could have been funny, but, like, again, in the context of, oh, this bitch is, like, genuinely batshit crazy, and she's leaking DMs, and she wrote, like, a 55-page essay, where she goes on an unhinged tirade about how evil Vaush is. It's like, okay, maybe she's not even joking. I can't fucking tell at that point. I don't want to be the joke police, but come on. Like, I didn't even crack a smile, but obviously comedy is subjective. But at the same time, she's not doing it from the standpoint of trying to make people laugh. She's doing it because she's, like, raging. You can just feel the salt. You can feel the salt behind the tweet. It's just kind of there, like this sort of omnipresent, immaterial salt that you could just feel. It's like in the metaphysical realm of existence, but it interacts with your consciousness.
Creator, and in response to us burning a bridge publicly, I leaked that years ago we used to flirt and then insulted her pussy.
Exactly.
I would get in a lot of trouble for that. Like, that would follow me for a...
Yeah, if Vaush were to, like, insult her pussy after that exchange, that'd be weird as well. If he was the one to bring that up and was like, yeah, actually, imagine if the roles were reversed, right? If Vaush was like, yeah, I don't tend to, my preference isn't really, black vagina. It's not, black pussy isn't really my number one choice. But I'll settle for it. Okay, I'll make do with what I can. Imagine if Vaush had said that. Okay, he wouldn't even have a fucking platform. That's a genuine possibility. I mean, come on.
A long time.
I mean, well, he probably would. Well, I don't know. He wouldn't be able to. It would take a while for him to recover from that, is what I'm saying.
Again, I can roll with the punches, but I just, yeah, that behavior to me, yeah, jeez, Yeah, I would be, like, excised from the online like, that would be really, really bad. But look, the point is, I think that Cat Black... I think there are a few negative things I could say about Cat Black that...
few negative things, really? Oh, come on. You're being too nice.
Like, wouldn't be true, honestly.
Oh, okay. Alright. That's fair. Yeah.
I think there are a few negative things I could say about Cat Black that, like, wouldn't be true.
Based.
Honestly. Cat Black never had a point on me, admitted she wasn't listening to my arguments, and just misrepresented me the entire time. Again,
I mean, this is what happens when you deal with an egomaniac, fucking narcissistic, self-absorbed piece of shit who pretends to have morals but really just virtue signals, and doesn't actually believe anything, that unless it like somehow has something to do with their ego. Really, if it boosts, if it makes them feel more, I don't know, like virtuous, then sure, maybe they'll believe it. But they don't actually have a moral framework or anything that's consistent.
I went over it all last stream. I can't go over it again.
Sounds like something that would be a, I don't know, future stream. Maybe it's in the link in the description by now. You'll have to check. It probably isn't. But in case it is, I might have put it there. Maybe I remember. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I have terrible memories sometimes and a really good memory sometimes, okay?
You can look it if you want. But then the really frustrating thing happened. The frustrating thing is that in the midst of all of this, you know, of course, everyone's jumping on me. In the midst of all of this, ContraPoints jumps on me too.
Yup, and that's how it started.
Which I really didn't expect, because ContraPoints usually makes an effort to not engage in Twitter drama.
Well, not just that, but engaging in bad faith. Like, Contra... Okay, generally speaking, with the exception of this, like, one situation, maybe a couple things she said that I'm not aware of, she seems very level-headed, and like somebody who wouldn't want to jump to conclusions immediately and would want to do her research. I mean, fuck. It takes her, like, whatever, an entire fucking year to come out with a new video, right? Meaning, oh, it takes a lot of research, but then she does this shit. It's weird, and, like, the juxtaposition of her, like, well-thought-out positions, and then this shit is insane.
I think she deleted these tweets, which she does often.
And then she ended up bitching about it a year later.
But the ContraPoints deleted Twitter account has me covered here.
So she made these bullshit points, then she basically retracted them by, you know, deleting them, which is a way of admitting you're wrong in a sense, or that you were being irrational, or weren't thinking when you were tweeting. That's usually why people tend to delete tweets, right? And then, a year later, she's still somehow seething and coping over this, to a point where she felt a need to include it in one of her video essays in a way that genuinely deducts a value from the entire thing, and genuinely makes the entire thing look weaker. Because it's like, well, if you're willing to say this stupid shit, why should I believe other things you have to say? Not saying that one bad point necessarily denotes it dictates the validity of your other points, right? But it's like, okay, at some point, you get what I mean.
Contra says, I think you should think about what she's saying here instead of getting really defensive about her correctly pointing out the
ContraPoints, more like Contra poop. Got him.
Your perspective on this is limited by your not being trans and not a woman.
Natalie Wynn, more like Natalie Loss. That was funny. Please laugh, okay, guys? Please don't forget to laugh out loud in the comments.
I'm gonna break down why I think these tweets from ContraPoints are really bad. I think they start out being misinformed and end being bad faith, and
I think they started out bad faith. I mean, she wouldn't have tweeted the first one in that chain of tweets before actually looking at the situation if she was actually, approaching this in good faith, right? But, I'm not saying you can never, irrationally tweet stupid shit. I'm not about that. I don't, whatever. One bad tweet is not that big of a deal, but come on. Bitching about it a year later when you rightfully got called out for the stupid shit you said is fucking insane. So I don't understand where Contra is even coming from, bitching about this drama.
It's something I've never seen. Something I've never seen from her before, which is really weird and disappointing. But anyway, I want to explain why, because I think ContraPoints is unambiguously in the wrong here, and I genuinely, sincerely don't think I did anything wrong in this interaction.
Okay, yeah, well, that's the conclusion. I don't think we need to watch anymore. I already agree. Smash like. For those of you who are already, sorry, ContraPoints, more like contradict. Yeah, true. That was another one I was gonna say. But, yeah, anyways, if you guys like what you've been seeing, make sure to promote me algorithmically by smashing like. And also, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to smash subscribe if you want to see more content. If you don't want to see more content, well, fuck you. But, yeah, more seriously, if you don't enjoy the content for whatever reason, whether it be because you're mentally deficient, or because you have bad taste, or you've just never watched any of my content before and you were spacing out doing something else, not because there's anything wrong with my content, but because you were lobotomized as a child, you know, it's like, okay, let's be real. I mean, I don't always believe in objective morality, or opinions being objective, right? Everything is subjective to an extent, but my content is objectively the best, I'll have you find. Goodbye, Raymond Pixar. Never got the appeal of Twitter, and that was before Elon trashed the site. There was nothing to trash. Thank you very much for giving us a stream, and until next time, see you later, dudes. I haven't ended it yet. Just, yeah. Oh, you thought I ended the stream? No, I just ended the segment. Or maybe I am ending the stream, you never know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I will see you. Oh, you thought I was ending the stream just because I said I was? You serious? You idiot. Just because I say I'm ending a stream doesn't actually mean that I'm ending one. You shouldn't believe everything that you see on the internet, guys. Just because somebody says something on the internet doesn't mean it's true, okay? Yo, Femyoz, did you hear about the Rep of Montana, Zooey Zephyr's barring from the House of Representatives for speaking on the recent anti-trans bill? Oh my god, yes, I will talk about that in my next live stream. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Holy shit. I'm gonna read chat. Lichfalp, you've left, like, 200 fucking messages. Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess it's over a long period of time, but still, oh my god. I'm not gonna read all of them, I'm sorry. Hunter Avaclone, yeah, true. Yeah, hello, Crazed, if you're still watching, sorry. I haven't been reading chat. Hello, Zen. Blocked game. Okay, right-wingers are the worst. Yeah, true. But yeah, what did she say that was so bad? What? Who? J.K. Rowling? You know, since you're a conservative, the framing of my argument, Mr. Goldwolf, for why J.K. Rowling is bad, is not because, it's not because, you know, she's trans exclusionary. It's because she's a feminist. And don't you hate feminists? Don't you think feminists are the worst? Aren't they just so screechy and annoying? Well, that would include J.K. Rowling. So if you don't like feminists, I don't even consider J.K. Rowling a feminist, but whatever. I mean, she claims to be one, and she's not a feminist, but she has all of the worst attributes of a feminist that are like all of the negative stereotypes of feminism apply to her, and she calls herself a feminist, but when it comes to like feminism at its core, she's not that. She just has like all of the worst attributes when it comes to feminism, and like it's more of like a feminist aesthetic where she uses it to whatever virtue signal or id pull or whatever the fuck, right? Okay, yeah, anyways, let's continue reading chat. Alright. Yap/youth attracted. Fucking kill me. Please tell me that's a joke. LGBT is having a civil war right now with youth attract. No, there's no civil war. No. The LGBTQ plus community doesn't accept maps or yaps as they're calling them. Fucking hell. ContraPoints. Prob tried to cancel Mr. Beast for the Apache attack helicopter video. Yeah, true. Okay, honestly, that video wasn't even that bad. It was funny for its time, and honestly, even if it was made today, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't give a shit, okay? I wouldn't give a single shit. But that's besides the point. That's a whole different tangent. When you are so anti-sexism, you end up becoming sexist. Yeah, true. I hate when people talk about the horseshoe effect, because normally it's used to like make the discussion convoluted or like ignore obvious details about why the right is worse than the left or whatever the fuck, or to distract from the discussion. It's like, well, you see, well, it may be true that Nazis are bad. The far left and Antifa are also bad. Therefore, your opinion is invalid. It's like, okay, yeah, shut the fuck up. No. If only it was that simple. If only it was that simple. Well, it is simple. So that's why I don't understand why people don't get it half the time. Have you seen Ben Shapiro's gaming videos? He plays Surgeon Simulator and Minecraft the Mort. Okay, if he plays Minecraft Bedrock Edition, or even fucking Java Edition, I don't even care, honestly. I want him to 1v1 me in no debuff, okay? Alright, not only will I destroy that man in no debuff, I will fucking 25 pot that motherfucker, on my first fight after, like, multiple months of not playing, okay? That's what would happen. Femyoz is the chosen one. True. Crazed understands. Arguments suck. Debates better. Debates suck. Dueling's better. Only if it's a Minecraft PvP battle, okay? Femyoz learns mastering. Is she alive, or is this a pre-record? She's not reading comments. Come on, guys. Just because I did a long segment doesn't mean it's pre-recorded. Actually, well, you see, my live stream content is so good that you would think that because there's no dull moments, that I would be maximizing watch time by uploading what would be classified as a full-on video. But that's the point of all my live streams. Even when I read chat more often, I have to find a good balance. I guess this wasn't the best balance, but whatever. To be honest, though, they need to fix it. Their mic feed always sucks. What? My mic feed is always great. I don't know what you mean. But you're not black and trans. You're stuck in the same predicament as me. It is not my position to call Candace Owens a catty, backstabbing piece of shit that thankfully goes after bigger monsters. Akas. What? I'm retarded, okay? I'm out here rapping in chat, and Femyoz ain't noticed. Yeah, you're right. In fact, I'm gonna skip all the bars. They're just so fire that I just can't even stand to know that I will never be that good at SoundCloud rapping. Have you seen that segment where she outed a friend to people she had a restraining order against because they were threatening to kill her? Who, Candace Owens? Sounds like a skill issue. Imagine if she died. That'd be kind of funny. R.I.P. Bozo would be my response to her dying. Might want to check in chat. Dude is straight up spamming at this point. Oh well. Too late. Let's be honest here. White dick tastes good. Yeah, but what does black dick taste like? Does black dick taste different? I don't know. I haven't tasted black dick before. I'm not gonna lie. Using Twitter is the worst mistake a being could ever make. It's one of the worst. I think that the worst mistake you could ever make is, I don't know, I think, I don't know. What is the worst mistake? There's a lot of mistakes you can make, such as leaking your IP address, or like what if you put your address online? That would be stupid. Or what if you told everybody your phone number? Wow, that would be crazy. Am I right? Oh my god, guys. Never got the appeal of Twitter. Oh wait, I already read that. Bottom, that's all I wanted to say. Well, fuck you, Toki. Also, welcome to the stream. You are wrong about Java. You suck, SMH. No, I am right, okay? I ain't reading all that. No one does, yeah. As a cis male feminist, I agree with you. JKR belongs in the trash. True. Honestly, I have no issue telling J.K. Rowling to go shove an AT&T satellite up her ass as she makes me a fucking sandwich while she's barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. I have no issue with that. I think that if you say that to her, you're based. Okay, you're based and red-pilled. Especially if you're a public figure. Then you're really standing your ground. Maybe I will say that to her at some point, especially if I have a larger platform. I don't know. Her showing support for Matt Walsh and him slapping her down saying, glad you're sane, still don't think you should have rights, was hilarious. Yeah, she deserves it. Like, honestly, normally I hate the argument of, you built your own, you made your own bed, right? People say that to Keffels all the time, and it's like, is it really warranted there? It's like, maybe kind of sometimes, but not really. She wasn't, like, she does, like, some things kind of bad, but, like, it was mainly optics L's for the most part, and it's like, okay, who gives a shit? Whereas, like JKR is, like, genuinely, like, I don't know, a bad fucking person, and her entire ideology is completely fucked, okay? That's just how it is, okay? I keep doing the face zoom thing. I really want to emphasize points, okay? Anyways, I'm sorry. Kiss up to Blair White. Yeah, no, fuck that. Blair White can fall off a building, I don't care. She can go to conversion therapy. Honestly, at this point, she's such a fucking... She does so much conservative apologia and so much Nazi apologia at this point. Like, I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if she, like, started, like, talking about how it would have been understandable if, like, I don't know, her parents, like, sent her to fucking conversion therapy or some shit, honestly. Anyways, real adultish dude. What? Playing Sonic 4, I would rather jump from a building than play that shit game. Understandable, but I've never played it. I'll assume you're right. I'll assume that your presupposition about playing Sonic 4 and the juxtaposition of that next to jumping off of a building and how it is categorically worse than jumping off of a building. I know that yeah, okay, I'm saying shit. Okay, I'm stupid. Okay, look, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I've been going on a whole tangent. I'm sorry. Goodbye, everybody. I will see you all in the next video. Alright? This was a bit of a shorter stream, but I'll keep streaming, okay? Oh, yeah, that's right. I will keep streaming, but just not right now. Partially, but if she's put in the work to drive out the tankies and people who can't handle edgy jokes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, she's literally like, she doubled down. She's just like, nah, fuck you. You're mad at me for saying the R slur? Shut up, oh wait, no, that's wrong effect. I'm sorry. Shut up, retard. Yeah, that was what I meant to do. It would have been funnier. I don't know, maybe it was funny for me messing up and pressing the wrong fucking button. Oh no, anything but that. It should have been a permanent taboo. I'm confused. I don't know what you're talking about at all. But okay. I'll just assume that your the sentences you're forming right now are completely coherent, okay? And move along, alright? I think that is the ultimate solution. Yes, yeah, I got the face in right that time. Nah, I wasn't talking about kissing up the Blair White. Like, literally, I was mentioning something else. What? No, I know that that wasn't your position. I assume you were talking about the idpol shit. Anyways, I'm actually leaving this time, probably, I'll bet. Or am I? I don't know, man. You tell me. Goodbye, Toki. Goodbye, In League with Satan. Goodbye, Rayman Pixar. Goodbye, Basil Plushie. Goodbye, Vsauce. Goodbye, Olivia Bean. Goodbye, Lich Falp. Who else tuned in? Oh, before I go, if anyone wants to make a last-minute no donation, have your name on screen, and have me put you in the featured channel section if you donate $10 or more dollars. Goodbye, Gold Wolf, if you're still watching. Goodbye, Zen. Goodbye, Crazed. Who else tuned in? Goodbye, Pizza Time. Goodbye, Sub Sandwich. And, yeah, goodbye, Pancake Panic. Goodbye, Chicken Stranger. I think that was everybody. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Conversion therapy should have been a permanent taboo. Yeah, no, yeah. Damn it, I only came in the stream a few minutes ago. Bye-bye. I'll stream for another 10 minutes if somebody donates. Teehee. She went sicko mode. Her fuck off tankies and woke scolds arc is something worth remembering. True. And if we're gonna be leftists, we gotta be in favor of reformative justice. So even if she used to be a cringe SJW libtard who can't handle edgy jokes and a woke scold and a bitch or whatever, like, it's like, okay, even if that's the case, it's like, well, she's not like that anymore. So maybe perhaps, you know, since we care about reformative justice as a, like, fundamentally, right? Not even just in the criminal justice system. Bottom is all I wanted to say. Fuck you. Shut up. No, I'm not. Okay, except for when I am, but that doesn't count. Your thumbnails always look like the people are about to have an absolutely crazy fight. You better believe that is my exact intent, okay? I'm so good at thumbnail. Okay, I need to stop with the face zoom thing. You know what? Maybe I do a 2-minute long segment where I just do this the entire time, okay? I'm just like pressing all the buttons, okay? Do you guys like this? Is this entertaining to watch? So guys, the weather do be nice, huh? Yeah. Yeah, so chat, how's your day been? Has your day been good? My day's been great. Oh yes. But do you guys want to donate money? Please donate money. The Streamlabs link is in the description below. Yeah, money is good and I like money. If you donate money, you better believe that I'll be using it as irresponsibly as possible. So if you want to pay me money so that I can misuse it or buy things that I don't need, yeah, I'll be pretty sick. Okay, as fun as that sounds, I will, to be fair though, well, I don't know, man. I'm just a greedy whore, okay? Then again, I save money. I don't spend it that much. It's a whole thing, but don't worry about it. I wouldn't be mad if Blair White got conversion therapy, but as long as it didn't set a precedent for it being okay for anybody else, I'm not gonna lie. It's like, you know what? Fuck you. You made your own bed. Right? It's like, well, since you want to suck off conservatives, why don't you go to conversion therapy, right? Why don't all the gay people that are conservatives go to conversion therapy? I think that in that one instance, it's fine. But other than that, conversion therapy is bad. You're bottom, aren't you? Shut up. You love big, strong black men. Well, you see, technically, that is incorrect. Although it might have, it may or may not have something to do with me being more of the more into, like, hot mommy doms, you know what I mean? And, weak femboys that are weak but stronger than me and more dominant than me. No, if I was hypothetically into that, of course, you know, not making any, I don't know, definitive claims there or anything. You know, I'm not saying anything. I just, anyways, goodbye, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed this epic stream. I know I've said I was going to end it a million times. Goodbye, Rad Nicole, even though you just tuned in. Sorry. You can watch the VOD, though. It's still entertaining. It's still good content, okay? I know. Crazy. It's almost like I want watch time. To be fair, though, I watch all of my own live streams at least once, if not multiple times. I watch many segments, like, 5 times, you know, being like, well, what could I have said in this debate that would have been more effective? Oh, I don't know, man. It's like, oh, what if I use this talking point and then like this talking point and then this talking point, you know? I'm sorry. I'm just waffling as British people, okay? British fuck, wait, wrong effect. As British people like to say, all right? I'm just waffling. Okay. Smash like if you want to see more content like this. Subscribe. I'm tired. Okay, I'm sorry. Goodbye, everybody. I will see you all in next video, okay? Alright? Not this video, but the next video, okay? Alright, I end stream now, okay? Unless somebody donate money, okay? If you would like to donate money, I will give you tech support, okay? I'm sorry. It's Joe over your bottom. Shut up. No, you're a bottom, okay? Alright, Toki, you're a bottom. Yeah. Checkmate. Fuck, wrong button. Checkmate, libtard. Yeah, got him. Anyways. Okay, I'm sorry. Liking Mommy Dummies went mainstream. I was into it before it was cool, damn it. Yeah, so was I. I used to be really embarrassed. But now that it's mainstream, I'm open about it. But I was always into it. I would have been open about it eventually at some point. Okay, honestly, a part of me misses when it was more taboo, though. It was hotter that way. Because it's like, it was like something that I wasn't supposed to be into. Which made it, like, more embarrassing. But, like, in a good way. You know? It was, one of those things, right? Like, damn, that's crazy. It's like almost like shit changes over time, and then the way things feel change over time because the things themselves changed in terms of how we perceive. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm being cringe. I don't know. Well, bye-bye, everybody, but, like, actually, for real this time. For real.